Hey guys, welcome back to Puffalauda, and welcome back to Steam Prison, where we are following a child. There's nothing more to explain there. Let's just get into it. I hope we can get, or I can get along with them too. A beauty? Didn't anybody tell you you're not supposed to talk to adults like that? Merlot ran off with a broad grin. I followed him across the road. When I was still a police officer, I was sure I couldn't live here, but I'd hardly seen anybody on that visit, or any signs of life. The whole place had felt like an empty facade. Looking at it now, I see the people here lead pretty normal lives. I was going to join their numbers. It wasn't that I no longer had doubts. I was still uncertain about how well I'd fit in. But my night with Merlot and Raylith had changed a lot for me. It had shown me that there was light even in the deepest darkness. I can adjust to any environment. The mood on the street suddenly shifted. Did something happen? Old habit made me reach for my sword I no longer carried. Heart sinking at the lack, I looked around. I can't see any of the hounds or anyone acting aggressively. So what's... Hello? Picture get. A man walked past where I stood. That was all he did, yet I couldn't help but stare. He looked completely out of place in the slum, well dressed from his coat to his boots. His demeanor was full of elegance and confidence. His movements had all the grace of a gentleman at a ball. Nothing about him meshed with the environment around him. If he's down here, is he a criminal? He doesn't look like one at all. I watched him, wondering at his identity. Our eyes met. Yikes! I looked away immediately, but he had noticed me and approached with light, effortless steps. Ew, I wish you never opened your mouth. Ew! Ew, get him away! The man smiled softly and resumed his strides. He didn't turn again before he disappeared into the distance. Who the hell? When the man had passed, chatter resumed around me. Judging by their reactions, the other residents saw him as just as much of an irregularity as I did. Yeah, I'm fine. He was just talking to me. And talking hogwash at that, I added mentally. His clothing and behavior were completely different from everyone else here. Who is he? What? Outside? Merlot nodded, pointing to the wall at the border of the sanctuary district. What? Wall? Isn't the sanctuary district a part of the depths? So why does he look so fucking... Oh, whatever. I see. I thought the depths referred to everything down here. I wonder what the world outside these walls looked like. Was it just more of the same, or... Merlot grabbed my sleeve and pulled me onwards before I could think about it more. Dangerous? He abducts people? A villain abducting people. I don't know. I don't know what to say. What a terrible man. I guess we'll just say how curious, like, Abduction. How curious. Ew, he's... Oh, did you guys just see that? He popped up on the right side and he was like, affection up or something. Ew. Oh. If he truly abducted people, he must have had a use for them. What use would people from the sanctuary district have to him? Labor? Slaves? I'd like to find out more about this. He looked like a man in position of power. One way or another, I should be careful. Thanks for the warning, Merlot. Hey, Merlot, did you ever go into the depths? Lord. It's a bad place? I see. Wow, racism! Yikes. He didn't have a grasp on the concepts he was parroting, that was clear. He raised one index finger as he spoke, mimicking whatever teacher had originally explained all of this to him. A bad place where dirty people live. We're special, we have our pride. It's the same thinking I had when I was living in the Heights. That had been my view of the Sanctuary District and everything else in the depths, just like Merlot and the others now drew a line between themselves and the outside. I see. That's where it starts, I suppose. Okay, I got it. A long time ago there had been a flood. The Chosen Ones had evacuated to the Heights, where I'd come from. The people born in the depths were the descendants of those who had survived the deluge, fundamentally incompatible with us. I suppose, even exiled as they are, they still retain some pride of being from the Heights originally. It surprised me to learn that there was a social hierarchy in the depths, but the similarity to systems from home made it strangely attractive. I'm attracted to being racist? Merlot's guided tour was non-stop all day, and we returned to his home shortly before nightfall. It's not my own home, but I'm still relieved. I closed the door and looked around. Oh, is Raylith not home yet? I see. That sounds rough. She went out in the morning. Either the place is doing really well or they don't have enough people. Merlot was bustling around the room. He dragged a chair over to the cupboard, trying to reach something higher up. I'll get it for you. What do you need? Merlot pointed to a small bottle. I stood on tiptoe to reach it. He put the bottle on the table and headed for the stove. Oh, you're making food. I'll help. But... okay. He wasn't bragging. Merlot really knew what he was doing as he deftly prepared our food. In the end, it was just bread, pickled fruit, and water, but combined together it made for a proper meal. I always left everything to the servants. It would have taken me ages to get this done. All I could do was say thank you before we settled in to eat. I suppose I'm here with him, and he's not on his own, but... Merlot, do you often have to eat alone? He didn't seem visibly sad or upset at that. It must have been normal for him. I see. That's incredible. Before I was alone down here, I always ate with my parents. I just think it's incredible that you can do this even though you're so young. Merlot smiled happily. Raylith said yesterday that his father disappeared. I wanted to ask him about his father, but it seemed like a cruel question. Why can I not say question? What else could I ask? Does Raylith always work until late?
もじゃないけど、大抵はそうだよ。特に夜が忙しいんだって。
Merlot bit the corner off of his stiff slice of bread and mumbled that night was when people drank.
どこで働いてるかは知らない。お酒は大人になってから飲むものだから、僕は言っちゃダメなんだって。だから僕はいつもここでお留守番するんだ。
I see. That's impressive. Eating alone. I don't think I could have done it as a child. The thought of being alone never even occurred to me. It seemed likely that Merlot had been living like this since he was born. Pitying him for it would have been insulting in its own way. I had a truly blessed childhood, didn't I? I thanked my parents for everything and listened to more that Merlot had to say as we ate. After dinner, Merlot fell asleep almost immediately, as I expected he would. But I tossed and turned, unable to do the same myself. I managed it a lot faster last night. I wondered if I'd slept in too late. Maybe I was having more trouble physically adjusting than I realized. A breath of fresh air might help. I crept out of bed as quietly as I could, so that I wouldn't wake Merlot. I don't want to walk around unarmed. Isn't there anything just in case? I looked around. I was unsurprised, but disappointed to see that there was nothing remotely like a sword. The kitchen knife. Maybe that's a little dangerous. My eyes fell on a sturdy stick near the door. I picked it up. It was almost as long as my arm, and well polished. This should come in handy if I need it. So I'm just holding a stick and walking around. I held it loosely in my left hand, ready to grab and brandish it with my right if needed. Then I set off from the house. I breathed in the night air. Unused to it, I noticed the damp and slightly rotten smell as I drew it into my lungs. I'll get used to it. I had to get used to it. I didn't want it to bother me forever. Whether I was going to go back to the heights or not, for a time, I'd be living in the depths. I walked quietly. I was being especially careful because I had been told how dangerous it was, so I was trying to remain in the shadows and move slowly. The road was narrow and difficult. It was easy to get lost among the side paths, but Merlot had done a good job showing me around, and I had a rough idea of where I was. Wee woo, wee woo. This is your Puff It Louda trigger warning. The upcoming scene has a hint of sexual assault, so if you're not okay with seeing that, you can skip to the time shown on the cream puff. I do want to say that I have read some reviews of this game just because I was curious after seeing how this played out, if there would be any more scenes like that to come. There are. So in the future, I will continue to put these warnings out, but just know, if you're not comfortable with seeing that kind of stuff, if you're not comfortable with even hinting at that kind of stuff, you can always just like read a review or something like that instead of actually watching me play through this game. And for those of you who are staying, welcome. Fucking have fun watching me suffer. The main road is over there, and the market is... I knew that voice. I strained my ears. It was, without a doubt, Rayla's voice. I moved towards the voices from shadow to shadow. Raylith! The man had pulled her close to himself. I have to help her. I snuck up on them. Huh? I placed myself between Rylith and the man and raised my stick at him. I should be asking you, you lowlife. Don't worry, leave this to me. The man was carrying a sword, but he was obviously dead drunk. I was confident that if it came down to it, I would easily win. Next time, I will hit you properly. If you don't want to get hurt, then leave. The man glared at me and Raylith before he disappeared into the darkness. When the stink of liquor finally wafted to me, I almost threw up. What an unpleasant drunk. At least he left without putting up a fight. I turned around towards Raylith. Are you okay? She doesn't seem all that pleased. Is something wrong? Are you hurt?
いえ、そうではないの。助けてくれたことは嬉しいんだけど、さっきの人、私の乗客なのよ。
Customer?
そう。私の働いてるお店での金払いの日。
Chooses you?
私の仕事は若くて美人な子ほど受けが良くて、こんなおばさんを相手にしてくれる人多くないから。ね。
You're not old. Choose. You're not a waitress?
ウェイトレスあの子から聞いたのね。
Oh no. You're... Oh no!
自分の体が商売道具なの。
Oh god. Yourself?
そう。結婚相手でも恋人でもない人の相手をするの。お金のためにね。
But... So the man just now...
そう。彼にはごひいきにしてもらってるわ。乱暴だけど、ちゃんとお金はくれる。とてもいい人よ。
Yikes. I see. I didn't regret stopping the man from hurting her, but it may well have given her more trouble in the long run. What if this means she won't have as much money now? I'm sorry, I shouldn't have... Perhaps it would have been better to ignore it.
私のことを思って助けてくれたんでしょ。その気持ちは嬉しいわ。
She must have known what I was thinking. Her voice was soft and comforting.
でも、次からはやめてちょうだいね。あと、仕事のことはメルローには内緒で。
Oh my god. Because you're not a waitress?
そうよ。こんな汚い仕事、正直に話す気はないし。あの子が察するにしても、もう少し大きくなってから。望んでこうなったわけじゃないんだけどね。
Raylith gave a sad smile, kicking out a small stone on the ground.
実はね、メルローの父親は誰かわからないの。
What? It wasn't the man you were exiled with?
ええ。あの人はこっちへ来てすぐに消えてしまったから。この保護地区で女ができることは本当に限られてて、私は自分自身を商売道具にする以外の仕事を見つけることができなかった。
Oh god.
そんな中、あの子が生まれたの。父親がわからないなんてかわいそうだけど、たった一人で生きてきた私にとってはかけがえのない我が子、宝物よ。
Raylith.
ここ保護地区は女だけで生きていくには厳しいわ。朝から晩まで働いてもお菓子一つ満足に買ってあげられない。
Oh my god.
それでも生きたいならそうするしかない。手も足も使えるものを全て使ってあがくしかない。それがあなたが生きていく世界なの。これが保護地区なのよ。
Raylith ran her hand over my head. Then she began to walk home.
戻りましょう。明日も早いんだから早く寝ないと。
Okay. Raylith walked a few steps in front of me. She seemed taller and nobler to me after I heard her story. She does whatever she must to support what's important to her. I felt like I couldn't forgive myself for giving her more to worry about. I wanted to look after myself. Wanting isn't enough to make it happen. I have to think about what I can do to live here. I touched the pendant at my neck and followed Raylith. And we're going to stop here. Oh my god, I feel so bad. Oh no, Raylith! Merlot! Like, she's selling herself to keep her kid and herself alive. Oh my god. And he's born in the depths and he doesn't know that he's not born in the... Oh god. Ugh. Next episode, we will cry with them together. And maybe we'll find a job so we can actually stop freeloading off of these people.